Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk. It's Casey.
And I am Adrianne, and today we're going to chat about getting your home prepped and looking sharp.
Yeah, whether you're thinking about selling or you just want your place to feel a little fresher, we've got some super easy tips that make a big difference.
So we've pulled most of this out of our blog for the month, and if you want the full scoop, we will make sure we have our link below.
Yep, so we're keeping it simple, quick fixes that have big impacts, and seriously, some of these tips are a total game changer.
So we also are going to interject some of our personal experience on houses that we've worked with that just, to give you kind of a firsthand perspective.
Yeah, so the first thing we're going to talk about is deep cleaning. A lot of buyers cannot look past a dirty house. And so the main thing you need to do is you need to dust all surfaces. I always tell people, including the tops of your cabinets. I know no one can see them, but it will just make.
Sometimes you do, though. Like, you don't think you do, but like walking down the stairs or. So you never know.
And then obviously you want to make sure that you have vacuumed your floors, deep cleaned them, wiped all your surfaces down, cleaned your light fixtures. A lot of people don't think about that one.
Don't forget baseboards.
Or dust your walls.
Oh, yeah.
I just did that the other day, and my walls were so dusty.
Next up, declutter. So we recommend just going room by room. Do things like getting everything off the countertops in the kitchen or the bathroom. Organize all your closets. I personally like to have all of the same color and type of hanger within any one closet. And make sure all the clothes are facing the same direction. I know that it's pretty easy fix, but it really does make the closet look more organized. Pack up any personal items. I'm sure you guys have all heard that before. Depersonalize. One of the things people don't think of, like, it's not just family photos and stuff to depersonalize, though. It's also like, it can be religious items. It can be
your taxidermy deer.
Yeah, like personalized styles, like if it's heavily girly, there's nothing wrong with that when it's for you, but you want all people to be able to envision themselves there. So when we say depersonalized, we don't just mean like your exact personal, like family things, but like as a broader sense.
Yeah.
Also, anything that you know isn't going to make the move with you, go ahead and get it out of the house, get rid of it. It helps to make the house look bigger, less things. Either donate it, throw it away, whatever it is that you're going to do with it after when you go to move. And anything you can live without, especially if you're in a house that maybe you've outgrown. Anything you can live without, pack it up and store it neatly somewhere in like matching totes, matching boxes, something.
Yeah, and it'll also make the move a lot easier because once you go under contract, usually it's 30 days, and so it'll just make that part less stressful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The other thing too is to clean and organize your outdoor space. So it's the first thing that a buyer sees. So you want to make sure that you're mow your lawn and that you clean off your porch and any of your patio furniture. If your cushions can be removed and washed, I would wash them or replace them. Especially this time of year, they've set outside, they just look dingy, things like that. Paint your front door or your columns if they're like mine are stained, and so actually I need to do that. I need to stain them, but that will add
just looks fresher.
Yeah, it'll just feel
makes fresher. Everything kind of pop.
Yep.
Speaking of fresh, you can freshen things up with a few small light touches around the house. So do things like replacing air filters for better air quality. If you have pets, consider cleaning out the ducts, or if you've done a lot of construction since you've lived in the house, it gets. I know my husband just bought this little gadget it's actually for plumbing, and it's got a camera on the end, and you can stick it down into the drains and stuff and see what's going on in a drain. He stuck it in our ducts because he was just got this new tool he wanted to play with.
So were they really that dirty?
Oh my God. And I had been saying for probably the last 6 months, like, hey, I feel like we should have our ducts cleaned because we have so many pets in the house.
Well, and you
And
guys have done construction.
with construction and all the things. Our house is from the 70s, so who knows if and when they've been cleaned. And let me tell you, he stuck that camera down there, and we were all like, oh, like, I'm actually looking forward to it. Actually, that's on our list for this week to color on. That is, but anyway, if it's something that's in your budget, it definitely freshens up the air in your house. So you can add fresh flowers to a kitchen, living room. Sometimes a little furniture shuffle goes quite a long way.
Yeah.
Make sure you're drawing attention to features that you want to highlight or taking attention away from things that you maybe don't want to highlight. Sometimes there's some really great features in a house, and you just want to do things that draw people's eyes to that feature. So say you have a nice built-in bookshelf or a beautiful fireplace, like staging the mantle with some things to draw your eye to it, or on the bookshelf, it draws attention to those great features. But you can do the same thing if you're trying to draw people's eyes away from a feature.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then make sure you clean all your window coverings. So that means either taking down your draperies and having them washed, or you could have them professionally cleaned if they're not washable.
Your blinds,
dusting them.
I just did that. I put mine in the bathtub.
No, I don't have any blinds, but or the blinds we do have are built in between the two windows, so they don't get dirty.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just little touches to freshen up around the house.
Yeah. And then address like maintenance issues. So if you have any leaky faucets, replace light bulbs, replace your batteries and your smoke detectors. And
light bulbs, I recommend daylight, bright lights. Even if that's not your preference for living there, it's what is going to show your house the best in the best light. So light bulbs are expensive anymore, so that can add up. But considering other things that you maybe would have to do to your house, they're still relatively cheap, even though it could add up.
Yeah.
At the very least, though, make sure you have none burnt out.
Yeah, that's great. And then touch up paint anywhere that you see that there's, like some nicks, or like I have kids and they just tear our walls up with whatever toy they have at the day. So like just do some freshening up with paint. And also like a big thing that we've kind of been talking about is a pre-inspection. So you might want to get your home, like a home inspection done before you list it. And then that way if there's any big ticket items that need to be addressed, or any little things that you can address.
So the pros, there's a couple of pros.
Mm-hmm.
A, you're less likely to have a big surprise, right?
Correct.
But B, in this market, especially in the Bloomington Normal area, and several other places throughout Illinois, and I'm sure several markets in other states as well, with the housing shortage, what it is, a lot of the offers get competitive and people are going in over ask and other things. Some people may be more hesitant to do that if they don't really know what they're getting into, but you might find that people are willing to risk a little more, and when they're in those multiple offer situations, go, you know what? I might not know everything, but I can see this home inspection that was just done, so I kind of know at least what to expect a little bit, and so I'm willing to throw a little more at the house in these multiple offer situations, and kind of ease the buyer's mind as well. Plus, it releases some liability from you in those situations, so it's just kind of a win across the board.
And I would go with like a reputable home inspector in your area. That's always great because if they do a lot of them, people know them, love them.
Obviously, a con would be, though, if you find out something that you didn't know, now you have to disclose it
or fix it.
But
I think in the long run, though,
the good outweighs the bad for sure.
Well, yeah, and that way too, and then I mean, I think we've seen this.
Well, you can. So say and you don't want to fix it.
You could give a credit.
You could just disclose it and say, "Hey, this is wrong. Take it or leave it." And you're doing your best, to make sure that you're being honest up front.
Yeah. But I just think that that is another angle to look at. I think if I were to sell my home right now, I would do a pre-inspection.
I think I would too. It's been a hot topic for us lately.
Yeah. Just because, like Adrianne said too, the liability aspect of it, and then that way, I wouldn't want to sell my house and then something huge happens that we could have avoided.
Yeah, and I mean, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Peace of mind for everybody.
Yep. And then the final touches would be before, during the day of showings or whatever, make sure your beds are made, make sure everything is in very pristine order, dishes aren't in the
Well,
sink.
it's not even before showings, but pictures, everything.
Yeah.
You can set your table, put a little centerpiece out, give a little welcoming vibe. I like to open all the curtains to let in as much natural light as possible. For the most part, there are times I don't do that. If opening your curtain gives you a view outside that's less than desirable, I actually choose to leave the curtains closed. But for the most part, unless you're dealing with something like that, open up your curtains, let in all that natural light. Another big one for me is if people are coming for a showing or for pictures, shut all your toilet seats. Like, nobody wants to look at that. No. So, but we also have a list of room by room details in the blog that you can download. That's like little items like caulking around, like fresh caulk around the bathtub, things like that. Yeah. And so if you go to our blog post from the link, you can actually download a home prep list, and it's like a little more detailed.
Or you could call us, and we're happy to help.
Yeah, or email it to you.
Yep.
So yeah. Home prep doesn't have to be a huge task.
By breaking it down into simple steps, you'll be ready to show off your home in its best light. And remember, a clean and well-maintained home doesn't just look better, it can also help you sell faster and for a higher price.
That's our Casey's little list. Max, she joined us today. So, so if you're ready to get started and you want to make your home, freshen up this spring, reach out if you have any questions, comments, if you're interested in a home preview to get a list of specific items for your house, even if you're not ready to sell quite yet. We are happy to do that for you.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our new content.
Yeah, and remember, be confident, be inspired, and be moved. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.